Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk about all things funding and payments in Paparazzi Premier. So what I'm going to do is walk you through how you're funded in Premier, how you can access those funds, what you can do with those funds, and I'm going to talk about some of the ways you can manage your Paparazzi Pink card. So first things first, how am I funded in Premier? Step one is to get approved for your ProPay merchant account. So when you set up your account in Premier, what you actually did was completed your ProPay merchant account application. This enables you to accept debit and credit card payments through Visa, Mastercard, Discover, and American Express. In this video, you're going to hear me refer to your funds as ProPay funds and also Premier funds. They're one and the same. Premier is just the selling tool, and ProPay is the payments provider that we're partner with. So their role is the payment processor and the merchant account provider. So they handle the technical side of the transaction, and they hold and settle your funds. So that was just to give you a clear picture of how it all works together and why you might hear me refer to them as your Premier funds versus your ProPay funds. They're just the same. So back to the main question, how am I funded in Paparazzi Premier? First, obviously, you conduct sales through Premier. So anytime you accept a debit or credit card payment, whether it's an in-person sale, an invoice payment, an online store purchase, again, any orders paid by a debit or credit card, those funds are going to land in your Premier or ProPay balance. If I make a sale to you today, those funds from that sale are going to be available in my ProPay account the very next day. So immediately after midnight Mountain Time. This does include weekends and holidays. So this is 24/7, 365 days a week. It's always next day funding. On the flip side of that, if I'm accepting cash or a check for a transaction, obviously that's either going to go straight into my pocket or I'm taking it to the bank and depositing it into my bank account. Although you can account for those types of payments in Premier, so when you're checking out, if you're doing an in-person payment, you can select cash or check. But those funds are obviously not actually technically processed in Premier, and so therefore they are not reflected in your ProPay balance. So that's where the second option down here comes in. You can also add funds to your ProPay account. So again, if I'm accepting any other payment method outside of the platform, such as cash, check, maybe Venmo or PayPal, and I want to manage all of my business funds in one place, I can also transfer funds into my ProPay account anytime I need to. And I'll go a little bit more into detail on that here shortly and show you how you can do that. But speaking of external payment methods, I know I mentioned PayPal. This is just a great time to mention that last year, we announced our partnership with PayPal. So you can now connect your Premier store to a new or existing PayPal account. And when you do that, that just gives your customers an extra checkout method in the online store or when they're paying for an invoice through the invoice portal. So again, if you have your Premier store connected to a PayPal account, that just gives your customers another flexible payment option. Something to note on PayPal payments, if you process a sale and your customer uses PayPal to pay for that order, those funds are going to land in your PayPal account. So if you see, or if you know that you processed a sale and they paid with PayPal and you're not seeing those funds show up in your ProPay account in your Premier app, that doesn't mean that the transaction failed or it didn't happen. That just means that those funds actually landed in your PayPal account. So again, back to this method of adding funds to your ProPay account. If you would like to manage all of your sales funds in one place, you do have the option to take those PayPal funds and transfer them into your ProPay account if you'd like. And again, I'll flip over to the app soon and show you how you can do that. So how can I access and manage my funds? So first things first, how do I view my balance? I'm going to flip over to the app now and show you exactly where to go to view your balance at any time. So again, once funds are made available in my account, which is midnight Mountain Time the very next day, shortly after midnight Mountain Time, I will just go up here to the menu and I will go to manage funds. And right here is where I'm going to see my balance. So anytime I want to see what my balance is or move that balance around, whether I want to add to that balance or move it somewhere else, I'm always going to go to menu, manage funds. And that's And that's going to show me all of these options here. Now I'm going to flip back to my presentation and list out all of the ways I can access those funds and actually manage them. So first thing, what you see up here, this is your Paparazzi pink prepaid Mastercard. So if you have your pink card, you can spend up to the available balance in your account with any business that accepts Mastercard. Here shortly, I'll walk you through how you can get your pink card and give you a few tips and answer a few common questions that come up with the pink card. But again, when you have your pink card, whatever balance you see in your app at any time is already available on your card, so you can instantly start spending those funds. On the flip side, if I don't have my pink card, I do have the option to transfer my funds to an external bank account or a debit card. So that first option is a regular transfer to a bank account. This allows you to transfer any amount up to your available balance to your checking or savings account that you have connected to your ProPay account. These regular transfers can take up to 2 to 3 business days to complete, and the cost to transfer is 35 cents per transfer. The second transfer option is that instant transfer to debit card option you see listed here. This is similar to instant transfers using Cash App or PayPal. So this just allows you to instantly transfer any amount, again, up to your available balance to your checking account by entering your debit card number associated with that account. These transfers can be completed within 5 minutes, and the cost to transfer these is 1% of the amount transferred. So I'm going to flip back over to the app and show you exactly where to go to initiate these transfers. So again, I'm just in here under menu, manage funds, and you have all of these transfer options here. The instant transfer to the debit card is listed first. You'll just enter whatever debit card information you'd like to transfer those funds to. Again, that instant transfer is completed within 5 minutes. That regular transfer is going to happen between your ProPay account and whatever account that you have connected to your ProPay account. So this was the account information that you entered when you filled out your ProPay application. And then this third option here is that option I mentioned earlier. If you're accepting payments outside of our platform, you can always add funds into your ProPay account if you want to keep all of your sales funds in one place. So you'll just hit that add funds to my ProPay account option. And I just want to note here, consultants must validate the bank account they're transferring from before funds can be transferred. So you'll see on my screen, we haven't done that on our test account. So yours will, your app will prompt you through how to do this bank account validation. Another note on this is that transferring funds into your ProPay account can take up to 10 days. So just make sure you plan accordingly for this. If you are using your ProPay funds to pay for maybe a recurring monthly subscription. So if any of you subscribe to Fashion Fix on the 20th of every month, if you use your pink card as your recurring payment for that monthly subscription, you're just going to want to plan ahead and make sure you're going in on maybe the 8th or 9th and initiating that transfer. That way those funds are ready and available for when that transaction needs to be processed. Another thing I'm going to show you really quickly is if you ever need to update the bank account attached to your ProPay account, you can do this by going to menu and going down to settings. And if you scroll down to the payment processing and banking section, you have this first option here that says bank accounts. And this is where you can update those accounts anytime you need to. All right, so now we're going to flip back and actually talk about how to get your pink card. So first thing you're going to want to do is obviously request your pink card. But before you even do that, I want you to actually go into the app and check your address settings. So let me flip back to the app really quickly and I'll show you exactly where to go to check on that. So when you signed up with Premier and you filled out your ProPay application, it asks for your home address. You can edit any of your address information in the app anytime. So if you, again, open your settings and you go to address information under store settings, you'll see that you entered your business address, and we defaulted your home address to be the same as your business address during your ProPay application process. But you also have the option to come in here and check on or set up a separate mailing address. If you use a PO box, this is where you can set up that option. whatever you have as your home address is going to be used for ProPay to send you your pink card. But again, if you have a separate mailing address, you can set that up here. And when you do have this turned on, this is actually what's going to be used instead. So make sure wherever you'd like your pink card to show up, make sure you have that address entered here. So once all of that is good to go, to request your card, you're going to go back out into your settings and again, scroll down to the payment processing and banking section and tap on ProPay card. The request card is the second option here. And this is where ProPay, again, this is our test account. And we've already requested our card. So that's what it's telling us now. But on your screen, ProPay will prompt you how to request your card. So once you submit this request, this typically takes up to 2 to 4 weeks to get delivered. So during that time frame, I want you to make sure you're going through all of your mail, sifting through every piece of mail that lands in your mailbox, because it does come in a very plain envelope, easily missed. Just look out for the sender to be from Global Payments. They are going to send you your pink card. So again, just go through all of your mail, make sure you don't miss it, make sure it doesn't end up in the trash with your junk mail. Once you do receive it and you open your letter, you'll get a whole printout of all of the information you need about your pink card. There is a phone number on there that you can call to activate your card. However, we have added all of the tools that you need right into the app so that you can stay off the phone with customer support. You can go right into your app, and I can show you how to do that now. So if you're in your app and you're on that ProPay card screen, you can just hit that third option below request card, and this is your activate card option. And right here, again, ProPay will prompt you through how to do all of this, and this just includes how to set up your PIN. So again, stay off the phone with customer support. You've got all the tools in the app to do it very quickly. Moving into some ways you can manage your pink card. So again, I'm going to go back over to the app and show you in your settings how you can manage your pink card, see some card information, report it lost or stolen, update your PIN, reissue your card, all of those options. So I'm going to close out of where I was already in. So again, if I open my menu, go to settings, again, scroll down to this payment processing and banking section and hit ProPay card. I can see my card information that includes card status. So you'll see here it's still sitting in requested. This moves between requested, manufactured, and activated. So if you're curious if your card is on its way, usually when it says manufactured, that means it is. You also see your issue date and your expiration date. Your last 4 digits will always be available here. And this is also just another place that you can view your balance. If you need to report your card as lost and stolen, that option is on this ProPay card screen as well, right here. So you can make that report with ProPay right in here. You can deactivate your card. Along with this, you also do have the option to get a new card sent to you if you hit this reissue card option. And then now I'm just going to flip back over and I'm going to show or give you a few tips and tricks for managing your pink card. So again, when do I get my money from my sales? If I make a sale to you today, those funds will be available to me tonight, shortly after midnight Mountain Time. If I have my pink card, I have instant access to those funds. So the first tip I have for you is for faster checkout, always select credit when making a purchase at a store. Just a reminder, this is a prepaid card, not a debit card. So there are a few different rules that come along with prepaid cards. And one of the universal experiences with a prepaid card is that usually if you select credit at checkout, the transaction will always be successful. For online purchases, if you need to fill in all of your information, such as your expiration date, your last 4 digits, and your billing address, I know I showed you where to go to get your expiration date and your last 4 digits, but I'll flip back over to the app and show you where you can go to double check and see what your billing address is. So let's go back to the address information section. And again, just review what you have here. Whatever you have set as your home address is what you're going to fill in as your billing address for your pink card. So just a tip there. And then again, I can show you really quickly one more time. If you go to the ProPay card page and see your card information, if you need to fill in this information when you're checking out your expiration date and your last 4 digits, that's where you find that. The next tip I have for you is if you're using your pink card at a gas station, another universal experience with prepaid cards is that they don't get along with gas pumps. So if you've ever tried to take your pink card to the gas pump and it failed outside at the pump, just go ahead and take it inside and present your card to an attendee and have them run it as credit, and the card will authorize. Unfortunately, it will just not authorize at the pump majority of the time. My next tip I have for you is if you want to get cash out of your card, you can do so if you go to any ATM. Just to note, cashback will not be authorized at any point of sale and the transaction will fail. So if you're at Walmart and you're checking out and it asks you if you want cash back, don't be tempted. It just doesn't work with prepaid cards, unfortunately. But again, you can go to any ATM and withdraw cash out of your ProPay balance with your pink card. The limit for these cash withdrawals has been actually increased within the past year. You can withdraw up to $2,500 per transaction or up to your available balance, whichever is less. My next thing I have for you is if you're ever curious about your limits or your rates or your fees associated with your ProPay merchant account, you can always view these limits, rates, and fees if you go into your app, and I'll flip back over here again. Again, I'm just going to open the menu and I'm going to go to reports. And right here, you'll see limits, rates, and fees. So if you ever need to review any of these for any reason, you can go in here anytime and sift through all of these. The next thing, if I have a problem with my card, who do I call? So obviously we tell all consultants that the first people you should call if you're ever needing support is Paparazzi support. If you're having a problem with your card, please call Wayru support. You might be wondering, when do I call ProPay support? The only time you should have to contact ProPay support is if you need to dispute a charge for any unauthorized transactions using your pink card. So if that happens, just look at the phone number on the back of your pink card and call that number. Again, any disputes are the only reason you should ever have to call ProPay. Anything else, you can call Paparazzi or Wayru. All right, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video today is some reporting tools and options that you have in Paparazzi Premier. So once again, I'm just going to flip back over to the app and open up my menu and go to this reports option. I'm going to highlight two different reports in this video. The first one is going to be this transaction report, as well as this search transaction report. These are actually going to show you all of the same data. They're kind of sister reports, if you will, but they just show you the data a little bit differently. So the first one I'm going to show you is the transaction report. What this is just a comprehensive report of all of your transaction summaries. So any report you go into, you're just going to enter a date range. So we'll just do a random one here. Let's go the last month or so, and I'll hit search. So this first section is going to be the transaction summary. So this is going to show you your beginning balance from the beginning of that date range you just entered to the ending balance at the end of the date range you just entered. So any additions that are displayed here, this is going to reflect all of the payments that I've processed through Premier when I accepted Visa, Mastercard, Discover, or Amex. Any subtractions that are displayed here is going to reflect any refunds I've issued to any customers. This is also going to be any pink card transactions. So anytime I swiped my card and funds were removed from my account. And this is also going to reflect any transfers out of my ProPay account that maybe I transferred into a bank account or to a debit card. This next section is going to be my pending transactions. So this could be any sales that I've made today. So pending sales with funds that are going to be available to me tonight, just shortly after midnight Mountain Time. So those are going to sit in the pending status for now. This could also be any transfers that I've initiated, but they have not finalized. So if I've initiated a transfer, like a regular transfer out of my ProPay account and into a bank account. Again, this can take up to 2 to 3 days. So for the time being, that is going to be displayed as a pending transaction until it's finalized. This could also be a purchase I've made using my pink card that just hasn't officially been settled. This next section is going to be all of my completed transactions. So this is going to reflect all of those sales that I have been funded for. This is also going to be any transfers into my account that have officially been settled. Those 10 days are over, so those have been finalized. If I want to view the details of any of these transactions, I can click in here and I can see all of the details associated with transactions. So you'll see here there is an invoice number. So this tells me this came from a cart. So this looks like it was an online store purchase. It was paid with an American Express card. I even see that my customer picked up the order. So it's really neat. You can see all of these different transfers. Super nice to have if you ever need to come back and pull some receipts or anything like that. You'll see these types over here. So anytime it says CC, that just means that that was a sale that was made with a credit or debit card. Maybe it was on an invoice that was paid or an online store sale, stuff like that. You also have your invoice number. So if you need to go back and reference this in all of your paid orders in the other areas of the app, you can do that as well. Again, this is just a comprehensive report of your entire available balance, including all the transactions that make up that balance. Now I'm going to go back out and go into the search transactions report. This is just going to allow you to search the information in your transaction report by date and transaction type to narrow down the search results. So maybe you want to look at specific transfer types. So you can go in here and open this drop down for type to display. And maybe I just want to look at all of my credit card transactions. So I can click on that. And again, I think it defaults to about the last month. So I'll just leave that and search. And here it's just going to show me all of my credit card transactions. You can do this for any type of transaction. So if you go back and maybe you want to look up anytime you made a transaction with your pink card, I can go in here and hit ProPay Mastercard. So that will show me every time that I purchase something with my pink card. It looks like it timed me out. But if I want to just, again, look at any specific type of transaction, I can narrow down my search by going into the search transactions report. All right, and that's all I have for you in this training video. Again, if you don't have your pink card yet, we highly suggest that you go in and get that requested so you can start accessing your funds instantly and you can skip all those transfer times, skip all those transfer fees, and you can go ahead and start spending. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was super helpful. Bye, Paparazzi.